Let's talk about the horrific experience that is watching Halloween Ends. Yeah. What's up? Brent here with Brent Media Rants. Thank you for tuning in to my first movie review video, my first long format video. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel here. Hit that bell icon to get notified whenever I post a new video. I greatly appreciate the support. A bit about me. I'm going to go into movie reviews on here as far as show reviews and lots of other fun topics around media. Lots of great stuff to come. And I'm going to dive into my reviews actually from a perspective of cinematography, character development, you know, what the script writing, how I feel their script writing was, their sound design, all the different things that kind of make or break the show or movie. So that's kind of how I'm going to do my reviews. That's what you can expect here. And also you can expect spoilers in this review. So if you're one who doesn't like spoilers, please stop watching now. Otherwise, stay tuned and watch all the way till the end when I give some of the main dirty details. Thank you. So, Halloween Ends. Why was this movie a train wreck? For me, it started with the script. Very lazily done. It jumps all over the place. It is like a roller coaster ride, but for the wrong reasons. It doesn't take you on an emotional roller coaster where you're pulled in. Instead, it takes you on an emotional roller coaster of what the heck are they doing? Why? And it starts off pretty good. You have the main character Corey. He's babysitting a child at a house, and there's a little friction between them. They're watching kind of a horror movie. It's set in kind of already kind of the scenario, that kind of like a little bit of dark scenario. It seems a little bit promising. The thing for me that was bothersome right off the bat, though, was how obnoxiously they kept bringing up Mihael Myers a little bit too aggressively, where it's like, okay, calm down about that topic. Is it really something that people are talking about that frequently? Let's slow down on take your foot off the throttle a little bit on throwing the name Mike Myers out again and again. So that right off the bat is a little annoying. But anyway, the character Corey, so he's babysitting this kid. Things transpire that he accidentally ends up killing this child right in front of the parents. It's an accident, and it makes it look as though he might have intentionally done it. From there, boom, cuts to somewhere down the road. No explanation of how far into the future it is. It's just now, okay, it's later. This kid died, okay, now it's later, and he's like at work. Okay, I guess we're at his job now, kind of scenario. And now it kind of builds up to the neighborhood kids poking fun at him and calling him a freak, like a psycho over what he did to that kid. And then he's of course introduced to the characters Laurie and Allison, and so that's how he starts to get carried over into the Mihael Myers side of things. And at first it's going pretty good. I feel that their initial, where they were meaning to go with the character development, I feel like from the beginning feels pretty decent. I feel that you do start to feel for, Corey. He's a nice guy. He seems like mellow-mannered and like a friendly person who's like wouldn't even harm a fly or whatever. He just seems like a very gentle soul and very quiet and shy, and so he's kind of got that underdog feel that makes you want to like him. And so it starts off well with that. Like I really was like, okay, this isn't so bad at that point, and it starts to be a little bit of a love story between him and Allison, and it seems to be going on a decent track. It's a little bit slow and dragged out at the beginning, but I was like, well, sometimes that's okay. You're trying to build up to before it gets too crazy. But where it really takes a stupid twist for me is when all of a sudden they just take everything they were starting to build up from the beginning and just decide, nah, we're going this way with it. What I mean by that is, so he starts having this kind of relationship bloom with Allison, Corey does, and it starts to develop and it's looking good. They're at like a party and he decides to walk home, and these kids kind of from town that bug him and call him a psycho meet up with him and decide to pick more trouble with him. They end up throwing him off of a bridge, and that practically kill him. And at that point is when he actually ends up kind of running into Michael Myers inside of like this drainage pipe. And he kind of like pulls on him and he sees him, he looks him in the eyes, but then Corey kind of, I guess, has flashbacks. I don't know who's seeing what, but Corey, I think, is having flashbacks to what had happened when he was younger with accidentally killing that kid. And then Michael Myers actually lets him go. Does nothing. And so that's kind of where, for some reason, I don't know if it's supposed to be that somehow Michael Myers saw something in Corey, that he knew he had what it takes to be like him, or what happened there. But he lets him go and he takes off. Ends up killing a homeless guy outside of the drain that sees him and tries to get kind of psycho with him to protect himself. And from there, he just, for some reason, starts wanting to kill people. And it doesn't make sense. Like, for me, it's like complete 180 from this kind of underdog guy you're starting to like. They just flip a switch and he suddenly just starts wanting to kill people and becoming kind of this weird, edgy guy who breaks all the rules. And so right there is where they really do the first what the heck kind of twist. Other things tied to Corey that were bothersome are his mother, especially. His mother is very obnoxious and overly rude to him to a point that doesn't seem realistic. And so, of course, naturally, he ends up killing her, and there was no reason for why his mom was so rude and mean to him. She was very, like, overbearing and over-paranoid about, if he was talking to someone who he was hanging around with. No concern for him if he's okay or anything, just a really rude woman, like, very obnoxious. The bullies that throw him off the bridge, also very obnoxious characters. It's like they purposely try to make everyone super mean at him. I think it was to try to, like, do that sort of scenario where people were all so mean to him, it, like, built him up to be this way kind of thing, but they kind of didn't succeed in that. Where they also really went wrong, I feel like, was with the character Laurie. She has some really awkward scenes in the movie. As Allison and Corey are having this love moment. She's concerned about Corey. She starts to see in him that he has this. She gets this look out of his eyes, just like she got from Michael Myers, that she knew Corey was dangerous, and so she starts trying to protect Allison. And Allison starts to get argumentative. Corey gets argumentative. All this weird stuff happens. There's these scenes that happen with the movie where Laurie speaks with Corey. She's like in this old house where he had accidentally killed a kid, and she's like in this chair, obnoxiously beating against the wall, talking to him. And they were trying to deliver some emotional scenes and build the story, but it just was failing left and right. And honestly, it was just annoying, her bouncing the chair against the wall. And then you cut to now as it builds up towards the final scenes when all of a sudden, you have Michael Myers coming back in the picture, killing people, Corey's killing people, and it just gets messy and it just gets corny and stupid. You've disconnected and started laughing at this point. Other people in the theater were laughing at this point. We were just all just at a loss for words for what we were seeing on the screen. And so, it's really, the character development is horrible. The story arc was horrible. It didn't take you along the story well at all. It was very, like, slow, jagged, slow story and not in a way that was not well accomplished. Just a nightmare of a horror movie. And, do I think it's worth seeing? I think if you want to get some good laughs and it's going to be bad and you want to be in on the talk about how badly this kind of final send-off of the Michael Myers character was accomplished, if you want to go watch that and see how poorly executed it was and just at least be in on the talk, yeah, see it. Maybe go see it at a discount. You can get a discount on it or wait for it to come out on like Amazon Prime or something. But, I'm glad I went and saw it because now I know. But, yeah, definitely a pretty bad movie. I give it definitely a D- if I were to give it a grade here on execution. Sorry, guys, whoever wrote, directed, edited this film, all of you failed at accomplishing a cohesive film that carried the audience along and made us really feel the emotion. And sorry, but the way you guys killed off Michael Myers was really bad. He didn't deserve such a poorly executed death. It should have been done in a lot more impactful and emotional way. it's all just, they kill him, he gets loaded on a car, driven and ground up into pieces because they want to give him a dramatic send-off for everything he did. And all of a sudden people from the town, as these, they bring his dead body out of the house and load him on top of a cop car, and the cops go along to drive him to grind him up. It's like everyone just knows what they're going to do. And all of a sudden people from all over town are just following them along like this parade. And there's no explanation of how they all heard that this is going on and start following along to go walk with the police cars. It's just, that's where the biggest misses for me were, is they didn't tell you enough between the transitions of things happening. So sorry to give you guys a little review on this movie. I wish it could have been great because I was excited to go see it. But hope you guys enjoyed this review. Feel free to subscribe for more, and thanks for your support.